So I thought really long about starting a new podcast again because last one, Europe's B2B SaaS Sales podcast, we did that for 150 episodes together with Patrick Trimpe. And I thought about, let's do a podcast on sales tech. Let's do one on closing deals. Let's do one on HubSpot. And the overarching pattern always was and still is trust, because trust is like health for relationships. There's a saying that health is everything and everything is nothing without health. If you're dead, like all the money in the world, all the assets, all the status, all the knowledge, all the relationships you have are basically gone. And if you are really healthy, that empowers you to do everything that you want to do. If you're physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually healthy. Trust seems to be very much the same for relationships. So I closed myself like 100K deals within like 3 weeks, like 50K deals within like 3 days, multiple times. When trust was in place, it was via referral. It was really via like where we had the exact same case already as a business. The same happened in pipeline generation where somebody said like, hey, I followed your content for so long. I feel like I know you, I trust you, that you do the right thing. Like I heard really good things. So if trust was in place, everything moves really fast. Conversion is really high. Velocity is really high. Deal size is really high in sales terms. If trust is not in place, people ask about changing the terms and conditions, changing everything, doing like a fourth reference call, asking about like 3 more calls and thinking about it and evaluating it internally and getting back to you, which of course people never do. But the overarching thing is that trust really is everything. There's a few things which we'll explore within this podcast. And I think it needs to go broader than just sales and B2B sales, which is like my head-on as a founder and CEO of Sales Playbook, which is like what I might be known for on social media or like as a business person. But I think it's really about like human relationships. Like, do I trust you? Do I trust you to have the high intent to really help me? Do I trust you to have basically the integrity that what you say you are going to do? Will you do that? Will you do what you say? And will you tell me if you did something else than what you promised to do? And then do you have the capabilities to really help me out here? And do you have the results? Like, did you showcase these capabilities and then do the right thing that really helped some other people that are similar to me? So that's the definition of credibility by Stephen M.R. Covey, who wrote the book Speed of Trust. And I think this is really crucial to get right in 2025 and beyond that, with the emergence of AI, where we can not only send emails that are not written by a human, but like put into a sequence, which has been around for a decade, but now also videos via platforms like SenseSpark and so on. Like even like social media comments are now fake. Like I've heard from cases where people look on a second screen during job interviews and they get asked like, hey, how would you structure go-to-market plan for this Series A stage company at $1 million in annual revenue? And people look up the screens like, action 1, I would do X. Action 2, I would set up a CRM. Action 3, I would launch a go-to-market plan. And where you cannot even trust people anymore that what they tell you like face to face is actually their own opinion and their own voice, because it could be like deepfake video, which is like edge case as we speak now, early 2025 might be more commonplace, but also B, that it is their own content and it's not something they came up with via an AI, right? So I think it's becoming tremendously harder for human beings to trust that something else is like also human and it reflects like the person, and it's not done by an AI. It's not done due to pressure from revenue. It's not done by just to please somebody else, like be it a venture capitalist, be it a board member, be it the CEO, be it a customer or client, be it a team member. And that what people say they're going to do, they're actually going to do it, because so often that didn't work out in the last months and years, right? Also economically, health-wise, and so on. It's like, hey, look, let's celebrate the 1 week end of the pandemic, which then lasted a bit longer than a week, right? Everybody's like, okay, everything will be normal again, like it will be fine, and it was not fine. And in venture capital, this is sort of normal, right? That like venture capitalists expect founders to say like, hey, we will IPO, we'll make like 100 million business in a decade. And this very rarely works. And venture capitalists to start a founder, this is normal. But if you tell a customer like, hey, we're going to deliver XYZ in a month from now, and it will be awesome, it will like 10x your productivity, and it just doesn't work. And then this destroys trust, right? The thing is also that if you do something like that creates high trust, people will tell maybe like 3 other people about that. If you, however, mess up, right, and you don't do what you said you're going to do, like you destroy trust due to something like you write on your website that you have 100 customers, but you actually have none. People will tell 10 to 20 other people about it. And like in closely networked networks like that the planet is basically like a town now right now, with social media and so on, like with people closer together in terms of communication channel, you can really destroy trust within seconds that you build up for maybe a decade. Like maybe it was just a year, but maybe it was like decades of time, right? And it doesn't come back that easily. So that's just a very short, like 5-minute introduction to trust, why it is everything, in my opinion, and what we need to do to build trust, scale trust, and not destroy it.